Hi everybody! Welcome back to Cut the Crap. I'm Andy Crone, as my channel name would suggest. I couldn't find my microphone thingy, but I did get it set up so I can see the chat like while I'm kind of doing stuff. So yeah. I guess I expected myself to be able to have the mic set up, but hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully you can hear me. Oh, maybe it's lagging. But yeah, so yeah. Today we're going to talk a little bit about expectations that we put on ourselves or the world or other people or just in general. Go through some stuff. Might be a little bit of a controversial episode, if you could call it an episode. I don't really know. Stream. I didn't realize when I was pulling stuff out that I got both Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber. So, the Hailey Bieber one I have to put to the side because it's too smelly. Like there's way too many perfume samples in it, but I should be okay for a little while with it. But yeah, let me check the chat quick before I keep going. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Be a nice maybe little pre-game for everyone. If you're getting ready for, I don't know what time it is where you're at, for people to take you out, or if you're gonna go pick somebody up, who knows, right? Yeah, and for some people it's already have come and gone, so all our people in the other hemisphere of the world, it will be done. But look at this. They have 3 different covers. Why? Just that seems excessive. This is from 2014, so that should be interesting to go through. Then I have a couple. I think this one's 2019, and the other one was from 2021. So we have quite the range going on there. Yeah, let's get into it. Just gonna be going through looking for images for collages. Sometimes I like a pattern. Sometimes I like a word on the page. It just is kind of whatever I feel like. So, so far, yeah. So I guess it is a good topic. I just like planned a whole bunch of these streams, and I didn't really, think of the timing of them. I just was like, oh, well, this would be a good topic, and this would be a good topic, and this and that, or whatever. I really like these steps. That would be a cool, like, background or texture on a page. But yeah, so I didn't really put much expectation onto what was gonna happen with these. I just thought, well, I'm gonna be cutting stuff out anyway. Might as well, be on stream while I do it. And if I'm gonna be on stream, I should probably have something to talk about besides, what I'm cutting out. So yeah, it's Valentine's Day. Did you expect to have a Valentine? Did you expect to have a gift or something? Those are some kinds of expectations that we could address. like, I don't think you should ever expect a gift for anything, for one thing. You can't ever kind of like force a relationship or a connection. And maybe if you're like younger, you could kind of do the whole like, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter what age it is, because like that's another expectation, right? But like, just go on a regular date for Valentine's. Like, can't really. And sometimes maybe you thought that there was somebody in particular that you wanted to go out with, and they just weren't available for some reason. It wasn't that they were not like relationally available. Maybe they just weren't like physically available because they had like you know, work or whatever going on, or couldn't find a babysitter. Which would probably be a pretty hard day to find a babysitter if you think about it. I don't know, because I never really had to do that. And I'm not like a super, like, you can't, that's a whole other thing too. Like, you can't expect everybody wants to particularly celebrate the holiday. Like, I'm not really super into it. I think it's fun for like kids, and they kind of teach, you know, teaches them sharing and stuff a bit. But, yeah. Hi, Michelle. I can finally see the chat while I'm going along. It's pretty fun. Yeah, so I'm still just going through and getting stuff. Talking about expectations, which I know is something that Michelle likes to speak on. Yeah, so Valentine's Day. Didn't really expect anything because I'm not really that into it. Nothing about like, oh, I'm when alone forever or whatever. Nothing like that. And just don't like, I don't know. My grandma's always like, but he was a real guy. Like, so does that mean that I have to go buy stuff? No. I mean, it's fun. I'm kind of into making up my own holidays lately. Like the other day, we hold on, sorry, a very intricate part of the cutting. The other day we kind of did sledding and you know, hot chocolate and stuff, and it was kind of like a little celebration day. I don't know what we would call it, but I was like, oh, what if we did this every year and just made sure to, like on this weekend or whatever, that is our new tradition or whatever. And not to say that all old traditions are crap, but sometimes it's fun to teach that you can make your own, because you got to be a little bit flexible with things, right? It's like a lot of the time with like these holidays where they're like corporate holidays, there's like so much expectation with it, like, you know, and I think that a lot of older people kind of understand this. Like, once you get to be like retirement age, you're like, don't expect to have like birthday parties and stuff like that. And a lot of older people, I don't think really do anyway. But yeah, it's like there's a lot of like rigidity around like planning and stuff like that. And it's like, you don't need to do it on the exact day. Like, and you don't even have to call it the thing if you don't want to call it the thing that it is. This is kind of an interesting texture too. Let's grab that. Hi, Mel. Nice to see you. I'm glad that you're agreeing, Michelle. Sorry if I'm not. I mean, my eyes can only be so many places at once, but you know how it is. But yeah, more like maybe if you have a channel, you can't expect everybody to make every single one, you know, and maybe they watch it later. Who knows? You can't, it's just all these expectations that we kind of have. It's just kind of silly. Um, but it is good to let go of them, and I think just talking about it just helps to let go of the expectation. Like, oh yeah, not everybody has family at their house for Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever, and not everybody, goes somewhere either. Some people just don't like to. That's fine. Kind of wondering about this shiny row. Maybe I'll come back to it. Oh, I could do 2 shiny rows. But yeah. And a lot of this is like it's just advertised to us, right? So it's like that's kind of what we're doing here. We're dismantling these advertisements. This is super cool. I like this shot right here. Not on this side. Is that an Obama kid? I don't know. No. Okay. Probably shouldn't make assumptions like, oh, it's one of those Obama kids. But yeah. So still talking about expectations, and you can't even expect like somebody's gonna have a good time. Maybe they just don't feel good that day. Like there's lots of different things to consider when you're thinking about say you're bummed out because your date canceled, or somebody didn't show up for a holiday, or whatever. Maybe you're like went to the grocery store and you had a list of stuff that you were gonna get, and then they didn't have like 3 of the things on your list, and so you kind of gotta wing. Maybe you gotta wing what you're gonna make for the week because you had already, or whatever, however often you visit the grocery store. But yeah, you just have to wing what you're gonna make and like just make up something on the fly. And that's where like stuff like art and improv and acting and writing can really be helpful to your everyday life, I think, because it really helps you with the doing stuff on the fly and just making stuff up on the fly, and stuff doesn't go right, and then you gotta think of something else. I feel like I'm being maybe a little bit redundant. So weird looking at a 2014 catalog or magazine. It's kind of like time traveling. Like this. But yeah, you guys ever feel like you expect something to go a certain way, and then it just like everything happens to make it go exactly against whatever plan that you had? Like, I don't know, say you're starting a business or something, and you think that, oh, well, even if I save up this much amount and then I'll go and I'll get these supplies or whatever, then you're not able to get the supplies because you had to, get a root canal or something, I don't know. And so, of course, because you had to go to the dentist and pay out of pocket or something, which is kind of ridiculous. Oh, the dentist. don't get me started with the dentist. But yeah, there's like always like these little things that can come up and just throw things off. And it can be something as simple as, oh, somewhere, I wish I had it right by me. Somewhere I have, I bet you it's in the other room. I had just gotten new tires and I drove over just this rock that happened to look exactly like some kind of a claw. So you would think, you know, these tires are gonna last me a while because they're new tires. No. God or whatever runs this thing had other plans. So I'm like, I don't know if we're like all like there's obviously like the fates or whatever. So it's like there's things that are pulling strings that we don't quite understand. I don't think we can completely write our own narratives, maybe to an extent, but there's always that's kind of like putting an expectation on things too, because there's always these little things that come up. Or you forget your wallet at home. You want to go to the movie or something like that. Like, then you drive all the way there and forget your wallet at home. Hopefully you have gas, because, you know, if you drive pretty far and then you forget your wallet, like, oh, that's really like, then you gotta call somebody or see if you can remember your. A lot of people use their phones now, I guess, but I'm not really. I'm one of those, oh, what do they call it? Like in business school, they call it something. It's like something about target audiences. And then there's like the early bird people. And then there's the like kind of like follower people that just jump on the bandwagon. And then there's like the late stage. Like they really, those are the really tough sells or whatever. I feel like I'm a tough sell. Like I don't need things. I don't need different stuff. I don't see anything over here. This could be kind of cool, but I'm gonna leave it because I might just give that whole page to my daughter. She's been getting into collaging. I guess that's maybe another expectation we could talk about is parents sometimes think that their kids are gonna be into everything that they're into. Not necessarily. Like I have a lot of like relatives and they're into hunting or hockey or whatever, and then their kids are like into video games. Like, and it's like that's fine, you know. Let people have their own thing. Not everybody has to be into everything. Sorry for cutting your boob, lady, but I just want the sequins. I don't want your boob. This would be a fun little texture to add somewhere. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff in this magazine. And I guess even when you're doing like art, you know, like say you're just doing it by yourself, it's hard to have like plan things because I kind of want this watch face, but I also like this. So I'll decide later. To really have an expectation of how your piece is gonna go. Sometimes just like the weirdest thing will happen. Maybe you didn't realize your marker was gonna go dry, or your pen was gonna die, or your paintbrush had like a little speck of paint from the last paint that you used, and now you have like a black line where you have a bunch of yellow, like, or, you know, you accidentally tear something that you didn't mean to tear. Like, it doesn't always work out in art either. This is another page I kind of flipped through before while I was waiting to go live. And this was another page that I was like, I like both sides, so I'll have to decide later. I love this funky gate. It kind of reminds me of Willy Wonka, or like Whipstaff on Casper. It's my shit. But I also like this little tiny Eiffel Tower. I don't know. I could maybe get both. But yeah, stuff like that. I also like this chick. It's kind of loose around her. I'm gonna leave the shark even. Apparently she's a music blogger. That's cool. Just like her outfit, her vibes. I'm gonna cut out this Soul Sister thing because that could be a cool art journaling type of thing. I don't know what I was talking about before. I know we were talking about expectations, but oh, and art. Yeah. Or sometimes you'll try to match a color and you cannot find the same color again. Like there's this lady and she came in and she really wanted this when I worked at the hardware store, and then she was like really wanted this forest green color, but they had discontinued the color. And it was like, I don't know what you want me to do. We can try to find something as close as possible. And she was trying to get like a gallon mixed up from just the tiniest, probably like this amount was her paint chip, and that she was trying to get it matched up with. And I was like, I don't know. You're gonna have to mix some things sometimes. Try to get it as close as possible, but can't always get them all. Oh yeah, I think pretty good on this one for now. We've been talking for a while, so we might as well move on to another thing. This is a recipe one. I'd already used this one, so yeah. Nice to see both you and Mel are having a good time in the chat. Hi to all the people that are talking or watching. Wow. That are watching afterwards, not on the live. I'm grateful to have you guys around too. We can cut out some more words now that I'm grateful. I see this little thankfulness. A good little reminder to give shout outs. Yeah. And yeah, we all have an idea in our brains about how things in general should go, and then more often than not, it doesn't go exactly how we planned it, but it still turns out okay. There's going to be a lot of thankful stuff. See, these are all cool, but I don't know if any of them are like big enough. Like even like the texture through here would be a cool texture, but I don't know if that would be big enough to even add into somewhere where it would be noticeable. Yeah, this is kind of cool here. Oh, and I liked this. Old buildings are always cool. You know, they have little tents in there, and a little whatever at the bottom. I cut out this light post though, the modern one. Later, I'm just gonna get the general shape going on. Maybe I'll get these fruits too, because that could be a cool little add-in somewhere. If I don't use it, I can give it to my daughter. That's an expectation that I feel like I have, is that if you have a cool old building, you should preserve it. I don't know, instead of building like just crap in its place or parking lots. I don't know. That's just me. am I the only one that hates the way architecture seems to be going these days? I just hate it. It makes me want to cry all the time. I go down to like Duluth. They have really cool buildings in Duluth. And they're all like boarded up. And there's a bunch of, and I don't have anything against like homeless people or whatever. I have my own experiences with that. And so I don't, you know, no judgment on that. But I just don't understand like why not work to preserve that area, keep that area nice. I wonder if I should try to get just this kind of skyline thing going on. That might be neat somewhere. I'll kind of get the details of it later. When I actually, if I actually put it down somewhere. I really like this green. I don't know if I'd be able to find that anywhere else, so I'm gonna cut that out too. I've been watching a lot of different people over the years and what they kind of grab, and it's just so interesting to see like what everybody gets, different kinds of stuff. Some people are always after, they're just after like one kind of thing and for their one project. I just don't really, I kind of just, the ideas come to me at the time and then see what I got to go with the idea. You know? And again, if I don't use these, I know my daughter will. She's just having so much fun learning how to do it. And we made our own Valentine's yesterday. And I think that would be cool if people went back to that a little bit more. You know, if they are going to have Valentine's parties at school or whatever, you know, have it be handmade. Why not? I understand people have time or, you know, time constraints, or, you know, maybe your kids are disabled. That's kind of another thing. This lady's shirt has cool, cool little ditzy floral pattern on it. But also, like, you gotta let kids try stuff too. And like, they're learning to write and stuff, and I think it was good for their expectations, you know, kind of, I was like, okay, well, I have these stencils and cut out hearts or whatever. And it just helps her to like trace half the heart and then whatever. So I was like, haven't you cut out lots of stuff at school before? Like, it seemed like she was having just a struggle. And I was like, I don't understand why you're struggling so much. I feel like you've cut things out quite a bit. Like, so, yeah, can't expect kids, especially to remember stuff. And you can't really expect anybody to remember things. Like this typeface. Let's see how we work that in somewhere. Also, this kind of orange yellow cheese color is nice. But yeah, it was fun making them. Just had some questions. That's pretty much everything with having kids. It's just like, it's a lot of questions to yourself and to your kids. Unspoken questions and spoken questions. One thing is, some people, if they want to have kids, they think that they have to have a certain amount of money or be in a certain place in life to kind of like start having kids. And you know, if that's the thing keeping you, if you're one of those people and that's the thing keeping you from that, like, I don't think there's ever a right time. Like in my case, it wasn't like really a planned thing, but it wasn't really like not planned. It was just so yeah, it's like I don't think there is ever, because with all the people that I do know that have kids, it's like there's never a right time for. I love all these are making me so hungry. It's kind of hard with the food ones because it's harder to pick what would be good. But yeah, never a right time to have kids. Never really. There's probably wrong times. Like you probably, you know, if you are in like an active addiction or something, you probably want to rethink that a little bit. I think there's times when it's a little bit more questionable. But you know, it happens too. So no judgments there, really. Just more questions for you to ask yourself. And yeah, these carrots, bourbon glazed carrots. Should we read it? A little bit? Then you get the gist, pretty much. Bring 2 pounds of peeled and sliced lengthwise carrots to a boil in a large pot of salted water. Reduce heat to medium-low until crisp and tender for about 10 minutes. And then drain and put in a bowl. And then for the glaze, you mix brown sugar, butter, and just a couple tablespoons of bourbon in a saucepan, and then you simmer that and pour it over the carrots. Oh, I thought it was like you cooked them together. See? I guess I ended up reading the whole thing, but you know, now you get a recipe. This is from All Recipes, so I'm not like trying to steal your content or anything. I'm just cutting stuff out and reading. I can get this word simple. Keeping it simple by not having too many expectations. I think it's probably okay to have a little bit. You want to like expect that, you know, if somebody does care about you, they're gonna actually treat you like they care about you, right? That's a pretty easy one. I don't think that's asking too much. I don't think that's an unreasonable expectation. That being said, maybe some people just don't know. how to treat people that they care about. They have a hard time. Maybe they have a hard time with it, I guess. I don't know. I feel like you should treat people how you would want to be treated. You know, it's kind of the golden rule, right? We're all taught that. I'll get this nice little thing of sage down here, and then maybe we'll call it a day. Maybe I'll get this kind of window pane apron with a knot. Looks pretty cool. I keep like leaning back while I'm cutting, and I don't mean to, but I'm just learning how to stay in frame while I cut, so you have something to actually watch. If you're just, I don't know if this is all that interesting to watch people cut things out. Maybe I'll just cut kind of around it, and then when it comes down to it. So yeah, generally I'll just use my scissors, and I'll try to just use scissors the best that I can. The next step after scissors, if I have like, see there's like a little hole here and like a really sharp crevice and some corners and like stuff like that. Then I'll pull out my, it's like a craft knife. It's one of these guys, and they sell like different ones with different tips too, so you don't need it like super stabby. They have like smaller tips, and this is just the only one that I could find that came individual at the time. I was like, I don't need a whole pack right now. I don't know if I'll ever need a whole pack, but maybe someday. And then what I would like to also get is like an embroidery scissors, or like a nose hair trimmer scissors that I use in the studio too. That might help get some of this stuff out. That can go in that pile. Yeah, I hope you guys, I hope this is helpful, and at least talking about, you know, stuff that maybe we don't need to dwell on so much, or kind of just be a little bit more chill on. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying it the way that I mean it, but I just hope that it is helpful to people, or at least they had fun watching me pull pictures out of a magazine and cut them. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I guess it's not going to be too long. Of course, I'm going to keep these around because I end up going back through them a bunch of times and finding stuff. And then once I feel like I'm done with them, then I might donate them to, there's a collage collective in Minnesota, and I am in one of their zines. And so I think that might be a good idea to start donating some of that stuff to them. There's a couple other places. There was one place that was like a boys and girls club type of thing. I don't know if it was exactly a boys and girls club, like if that was the name of it, or if that was just like the premise. I can't remember. But they were kind of taking donations at one time for like different art materials, and I thought, well, that would be a good place to send some of my. You never know what other people are gonna cut out of things. So yeah, it's just a good idea to keep in mind that there might be places to donate your old magazines to, or you can make your own collage. Don't expect that everybody wants to make a collage necessarily. Some things you can probably expect from me in the next coming week or so is merch tour. and then I'm gonna, I am finishing up a sketchbook right now. So I'll probably put a sketchbook tour up. I'll put an announcement for it because I'll probably put a poll with the announcement. Some people tend to like music and just no talking, and some people like you know, to talk about it while they go through it. But it's freaking huge, so I don't know. Maybe I'll do 2 parts because it's ginormous. I can't even remember how many pages are in this. Maybe 70 pages. I think that's front and back, so there's like 100 some pages. I got some stuff, a few more pages that I need to kind of fill in, and some that I'm just gonna leave blank because whatever. Sometime that'll be coming. I don't know if that will be in the next week, but sometime soon. Another thing. Oh, there was another thing. Oh, I'm probably going to, because I have quite a bit of ephemera. That's what they call these little people have. I have heard people call them ephemera, like little cutouts and things. I probably have enough for a while, and I did find like a couple boxes and envelopes full of clippings, and I also use collage or like let me get a good piece here. Oh, here's a good piece right in my pile. Like scrapbook paper with patterns and stuff. I use that a lot for backgrounds, or sometimes I just want a different color. So I have a bunch of just, and then mixed in with stickers, and I've been organizing a lot, and I'm just coming across a lot of stuff. So I'll probably do these kind of in like chunks, and kind of that way I can use up some of the stuff, and then also come up with ideas to things that I think should probably be talked about in the world. Maybe I might not do such serious topics all the time. Let me know what you think of the topics, or if you have other topics you think would be interesting to dive into, whether it's art related or kind of into like sustainable type practices, but I'm not like super rigid about it because I'm not a corporation. So I'm not that much at fault. Tarot, that's a fun one. Different, so I do want to do maybe a couple different ones that go into like sobriety and my sobriety journey. As I did do it without any programs and just pretty much by myself. So a lot of thugging it out. It's a lot of thugging it out, but we made it. We're here now. And we're still doing it. I don't really feel tempted by that anymore. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming. If you liked it, you can give me a thumbs up if you're feeling nice. If you want to subscribe for future videos, I'll be doing other different stuff besides just this. I feel like this is like a acquired taste, probably, maybe. Like, this probably is not everybody's cup of tea, but whatever, I'm doing it. And yeah, so I'll have other stuff coming up, like the sketchbook tour, my merch tour. Oh, I still want to do the product review on the paper. So I'll pull it out now, just for chance. This is the paper. It's a Yupo medium, and it's polypropylene, so yeah, I have one sheet left, so I figured it's time. There's only 10 sheets in this little thing, so some of them I don't know what I used for, but that's okay. Oh, I'm sure I'll find them somewhere. All right, well, once again, thanks for coming. Nice to see you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. It will be appreciated, that's for sure. All right, well, have a good one. See you next time.